I feel this might take too long. Can we speed it up a bit? The short answer to that question is no, I'm afraid not. Inevitably, each time I teach this subject, some students become a little antsy and they just want to get on with the practical exercises already. I get it, I really do. And that's why this lesson exists. If you've carefully viewed all the lessons so far, you'll know that first, I'm deliberately keeping the lessons as short as possible to increase the odds that they'll be viewed thoroughly. Second, new information is best absorbed when it's delivered in bite-sized, digestible doses. And that's true for you and your dog. Three, it's crucial that you understand the theory behind DS and CC before you attempt to actively use these methods, because making mistakes can derail your efforts and create setbacks. Four, I want you all to succeed, and I'm setting up the process to maximize the likelihood that you will. A large chunk of the work in this course will involve systematic desensitization. And systematic means we'll be moving methodically in very measured increments. The process of DS and CC takes time. How much time? Well, as much time as it takes. There's no set timeline. There's no definite date of completion. And most importantly, you can't rush the process, no matter how badly you want to. And I think this is the most difficult thing for most of us to accept. And it can sometimes feel very frustrating, especially when things are going well and we're tempted to push it along just a wee bit faster. Practicing patience and respecting the need for the process to unfold as it should is crucial for success. And I can repeat this until I'm blue in the face, and still some of you will want to try to rush things at some point during the process. It's normal to feel like it's no big deal to cheat just a little bit. I mean, who's going to know, right? Well, you'll know. You'll know because it won't work. So in this lesson, I'm going to throw a handful of analogies in the air, and I hope that this helps to get my message across. Here goes. The first one tells the well-known story shared by Nikos Kazantzakis, the author of Zorba the Greek. One day, while watching a butterfly emerge from a cocoon, he became impatient with the drawn-out process, and he decided that he'd help it move along faster by gently blowing on the wings of the butterfly to dry them. Well, it didn't work. It didn't work because he tried to rush a mechanism that has no business being rushed, and in the process, he prevented the butterfly from emerging at the correct natural speed. There was no going back, no saying oops and then starting again. The damage was done, and the butterfly died. And Nikos was racked with guilt and famously said that this incident weighed heavily on him for the rest of his life. I know, right? I mean, dead butterflies are pretty sad. Poor little caterpillar. He was so close to finally becoming what he'd worked so hard to achieve, his whole reason for existing. And it was taken away by someone trying to help move things along. Well, I'm hoping that this image now pops into your head the next time that you're tempted to speed up the DS and CC process. Resist the urge. And here's another analogy. Less sad, but many of you may relate. Dieting. Many of us have at one point in our lives decided to get healthy and lose some weight. We usually start off feeling very determined about it all, right? This time, I mean it. And we restrict our calorie intake with a clear goal in mind. But if we try to rush the process by reducing our calories too drastically, we're setting ourselves up to fail. The odds are stacked against us by approaching weight loss this way. We'll either deprive ourselves too much and give up, or we'll succeed at losing a bunch of weight very quickly, only to gain it all back, and then some, thanks to a natural biological process that's designed to protect us from starving. Or how about joining the local gym? We set ourselves up for the same unsuccessful outcome if we skip steps in a new fitness plan. We might lift too many weights too soon and injure ourselves, or we might start a running program before conditioning our bodies to be able to handle running, and also injure ourselves in the process. And injuries are a setback. And after recovery, we've often lost our zest and we just forget the whole idea. And then we tell ourselves, I tried dieting and exercise, but it didn't work. It's usually not that it didn't work, but rather that we didn't follow the program. In fact, how many of us have tried to wing it without even having a program to follow in the first place? Speaking of wings, that poor little butterfly, remember him? And here's another example. Remember those egg and spoon races? You place a fresh egg on a spoon and you try to run as quickly and carefully as you can to reach the finish line without dropping your egg. And if you drop your egg, you're out and the damage is done. If you rush it, if you try to go faster than you should, you increase the chances of dropping your egg. But if you advance steadily and in careful, measured steps, don't push it, just keep moving forward, keep your eye on the egg, just adjust your speed as necessary to keep the egg safe, you will likely make it. Even if the egg is so wobbly that you have to completely stop moving for a moment to let it settle down again. In other words, if you need to stop working on your DS&CC plan for a moment to regroup, you will make it. Your ultimate goal is to reach the other side with your egg intact. Constantly evaluating your approach and making necessary adjustments as you move along will help you accomplish that. And the good news about using DS&CC to treat a fear is that it's not a race. There's no prize for going faster. The ultimate prize is reaching the end.